Hello everybody, my name is Palar and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be counting down the top 5 Earth monsters in Monster Legends. You have to know that all of this is my opinion and I rank these monsters by how good they are in battle. Keep in mind this is in the context of Team Wars and not PvP. Anyways, moving on, there's a lot of great Earth monsters for defense in Team Wars. And if one of these categories is an element or book that uses a lot of possession, Pigretto, Records of Lyria and Baba Yaga would be your top choices. And that's because all of them are immune to possession and a lot of magic and dark monsters really do rely on that. If you find yourself in a situation where there's a ton of different ways you could get immobilized by the enemy, which will happen most of the time, General Tomb, Brontes and Hiram would be your top choices. By far the most common immobilizing effect is stun. That's why Brontes is really good in this situation. Other monsters with immunity to stun would also be great, but Brontes also has an AoE stun and a mega stun, so that's why he's the best choice of the lot. General Tomb and Hiram are also pretty good, and that's because they have a percentage chance of dodging every effect in the game, doesn't matter what it is. Tomb has a 35% chance of doing so, while Hiram has a 50% chance because he is a VIP. Anyways, that's it for defense, and now on to offense. General Tomb is every player's go-to Earth monster. His stats are pretty good, he has a high power in life, but does suffer a bit in the speed. His trait is tough, which makes all negative effects miss him 35% of the time. That's an amazing trait. He has an AoE stun, which is always really handy to have, even though a lot of Earth monsters are immune to it. His most famous skill is his AoE 100% shield though. This skill really helps out when you have some frail monsters on your team. He can also pretty much win a 1v3 with his hard as rock skill. What the skill does is that it gives him double life and 100% damage return, which means that the enemies can basically kill themselves when attacking him. General Tomb is an amazing Earth monster because of his moves, but he does get outclassed a lot in terms of speed in the Earth element. On number 4, I put Brontes. Brontes has a pretty shitty power and speed, but a very high life. Again, as with the Tomb, he isn't good because of his stats. He has a great Earth trait, immunity to stun. You can never go wrong with that. Now, I don't want to give him more credit just because of his ultimate, but I kind of have to because it's so amazing. It mega stuns the entire enemy team, which means that they will not get to attack for 2 whole turns. There's only one other monster in the entire game who has this as an ultimate, and that's Atlas, and he really isn't used all that much because of his low speed. And if you get this ultimate, you basically won the game. Anyways, he also has some really amazing skills. Just like a Tomb, he has an AoE stun, but his Mega Stun move is his main attraction. Mega Stun ignores immunity to stun, which means that it can basically stun any monster as long as the attack doesn't miss. Of course, just like with every negative effect in this game, monsters with Harden, Tough and Bulwark will still have a chance of resisting it, and Tamirar and Totem will be completely unaffected. Next up is Hiram the Tenacious. He has a bad power, but his life and speed are really good. In fact, he's the second fastest Earth monster along with Tessaday and Hydrotilla the Riftmaker. His trait is Bulwark just like every VIP's, and it makes negative effects land only 50% of the time. This is basically just a buffed version of Tough, and it's amazing. In my opinion, his best move is Adverse Fortification. It gives him protection, so he'll receive all single target attacks and gives him the 100% damage return. This is very similar to a Tomb skill, but it's pretty much better because he also gains protection. One thing about this guy is that he really doesn't have any form of regeneration. He has the next best thing though, 100% shield plus stun immunity skill. This can be really useful in so many situations. First is the obvious, when one of your monsters is on low health. Second is if you know the enemy will do an AoE stun and you want to give your monster stun immunity. I can tell you from personal experience that this skill is really amazing. Just like Brontes, he also has a mega stun. Again, it can bypass even those with immunity to stun, and that's an insanely good effect. These last 2 monsters were really obviously the kings of Earth monsters, but it's really hard to say who is better. So let's just do a comparison of them. Hydrotilla the Riftmaker has insane stats in everything. Everything is off the charts with this guy. Baba Yagas on the other hand are not. Power is very lackluster, but that doesn't really matter because she doesn't have high damaging moves anyways. Her life is very good, but it's much lower than Hydrotilla's. Speed is where it really matters with this monster though. Baba Yaga is just a bit faster than Hydrotilla, but those few points really do make a difference. It's really hard to choose a clear winner from the stats. I'd say that they both have different times where they can be better, but because this game strives on speed, I would actually dare to say that Baba Yaga is better because of that 3498 speed. Moving on to trait, Hydrotilla is immune to freeze, while Baba Yaga is immune to possession. Now, while immunity to possession is really great, I'd say that in most cases Hydrotilla's trait would be more beneficial, so in terms of trait, Hydrotilla is better. Moves are where it really matters though. Hydrotilla has an AoE stun, which is really great, but it's not a breakthrough of any sort. His best move is an AoE freeze though. He's the only Earth monster with an AoE freeze, and there's only a few Earth monsters who are actually immune to freeze. Besides that, the move also gives your entire team immunity to freeze, enemies, and that just adds to how good this move is. He also has 0 turret cooldown, 65 damage special base skill that gives the enemy stamina link and gives your entire team stamina regen. And since stamina regen was buffed recently, this skill really is amazing. Baba Yaga's skills are also really insane though. Her best move is undoubtedly the AoE possession plus nightmares. And if you're wondering why is this so special, I mean a lot of other monsters have an AoE possession. That's because as of right now she's the only earth monster who has an AoE possession. Also there are only 3 earth monsters who are immune to possession, and she is one of them. She also has a single enemy possession and 2 other amazing skills. The first one is an AoE blind plus remove all positive effects, so if the enemies have any kind of buff, she's just gonna take it away and blind all of them. Her last skill is another AoE. This one gives them damage reduction and more importantly gives them negative healing. And this skill is incredibly useful when dealing with monsters that can give themselves and their team regeneration, like Oros for example. Basically she just destroys Oros. In terms of moves between these 2 monsters, it's another super tough one, but because possession is a better control status, I'd give Baba Yaga the edge. And when counting everything up, I'd rank her just a bit above Hydrotila the Earthmaker. So Hydrotila is the second best Earth monster, and Baba Yaga is the Earth champion. Anyways everybody, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.